Sean freaking Hannity. I've I've made it a goal with all of these vlogs, I guess they're called, to keep it clean. So no profanity, but Sean Hannity. You know, that's the fun part of life is that you can be having a Monday and Michael Cohen is going into court on a motion he filed. I mean, this was his idea to go to court today. And, you know, because, hey, the FBI took a lot of his stuff. And he was trying to argue some of that falls under the attorney-client privilege. So, obviously, one of the questions that will come up is, all right, well, who are your clients? So we can figure out what might be classified and what might have privilege, what might not. And his clients are Donald Trump, which we knew. I can't remember the guy's name, the RNC finance chairman who needed his Playboy mistress to get an abortion. And client number 3. We'd like to tell you, but can we keep that information sealed? Judge, no. Tell me who your client is. Sean Hannity. In some form, Michael Cohen believes that Sean Hannity is his client, that they have some sort of attorney-client relationship, that they even know each other. Sean Hannity Fox News has given Sean Hannity an hour a night to be Sean Hannity, to talk about whatever he wants to talk about, pretty much. I would imagine. I mean, I've heard nothing of Sean Hannity being edited by his producers or complaining about being held back in what he talks about on his show. In this ongoing story, I mean, it's not like this is from Iran-Contra or, Whitewater. This is the current biggest topic going on right now. And Sean Hannity is the subject of the investigation. Any shred of credibility as a journalist is gone. That special counsel is going to want to talk to him. He knows Michael Cohen. He's been friends with him for a long time, he said today. My first reaction was, just head exploding. And I picked, I said, this is like Law and Order at the 40-minute mark crazy. I mean, this is right after that, the halfway point. It's in the hands of the lawyers. And you just find out. I just don't know how he goes on tonight. I can't. Fox News can't go on like nothing happened. The faster they fire him, or at least put him on indefinite suspension, that'll be how much they were shocked by this. The more they knew prior that he had a relationship with Michael Cohen, then they'll drag their feet. And in one of the topics I'd been thinking about is how the news media has changed. How did we get here? The other night, for fun, I was watching the opening news broadcast from the beginning, the first day of the Gulf War, January 16, 1991. Watching ABC News, their segment that night. 1991, you're watching the news, and I mean, there were 3 channels. It was Dan Rather, Tom Brokaw, Peter Jennings. And Peter Jennings, it was the news. I mean, he reported, hey, here's what the American forces are doing. Here's what the Iraqi forces are doing. Here's what the UN said. And even within the report, then he was like, and there was protest outside of the White House. And they interviewed one person, a spokesman from the protest. The spokesman said, "Here's why we're protesting the war." And the reporter said, "Okay, thank you for the interview." And then they, maybe flashback to Dick Cheney, Secretary of Defense, explaining, well, why, as a counterpoint to that demonstrator. And then that was it. Then they moved on. There was no editorializing. There was no what side is right, what side is wrong. It was the news. Here's what happened, and we'll let you, the public, decide what to do with it. And that was only 1991. And it looks like 100 years ago in terms of what the news is. I mean, the OJ trial, 94, that sort of got the ball rolling in terms of that there was an audience out there that would eat up the news continuously if it was packaged right, if you found the right angle. There was an audience out there that would consume 24-hour news. And to me, the beginning of this modern form of media that's 24-hour, politically driven, it was the Clinton impeachment. I remember, so I guess it was January 98 when it all sort of broke. And I can still remember, Sam Donaldson standing out on the White House lawn, waving a piece of paper, just fired up because he thought he had the talking points that the Clinton administration had written out for Monica Lewinsky. Now, it turned out that piece of paper wasn't actually what they thought it was. But with the Clinton impeachment, you saw a hunger. And you saw, especially the right-wing commentators, God rest her soul, Barbara Olson, Laura Ingraham, Ann Coulter. There was an enthusiasm for Clinton to be impeached. There was a what if this, and if this, and this, and this. And it really, Fox News was born as we know it today. And then, that was 98, 99. You have, the 2000 Florida election, 9/11, beginning of, and by the beginning of the war in Afghanistan in 2003, Fox News was what it is today. I mean, the opening, I remember Jon Stewart on The Daily Show as a comedy bit, I suppose, but with no commentary, showed Fox News coverage of the opening of the Afghan war. And the bombs and missiles, the shock and awe strike was happening, and Fox News had music, dramatic music playing over this. Like it was a movie, but it was this patriotic trumpets and and then they cut back to Jon Stewart and he's just head on his desk laughing because they didn't have to even make it funny. It was just so different from what news was for a lot of people. So, but yeah, by 2003, Fox News was born. And MSNBC and CNN, for a while there, I think they tried to keep their head down and be, journalistic integrity and just, we're going to be down the middle of the road. But then, especially during the Bush era, and definitely by the time that Obama took office, MSNBC and CNN were like, hey, there's a gap here. There's an audience out here. And that was definitely, that was when they went slightly left with Maddow, with their own answer to Fox News entertainment programs. And now we are, and it's become so divisive that, I love when I'm at the gym and they've got the different TVs on and you can watch the different circles of news going on. The Fox News will be talking about one thing and MSNBC's talking about something else. And it's divided up now. And because, and and to a degree, I don't blame them. I mean, they figured out how to make money off of talking politics. You know, I just heard the other day, Alex Jones on his website, through his website, makes something like $50 million. I'm sure Sean Hannity is pulling in a good, $10 million. He's got to be 5, 10, $15 million a year doing what he does. Obviously, he makes enough money to pay, to get an ear with Michael Cohen and be able to hang out with Donald Trump. And when I was thinking about doing this subject, I was thinking about how far the media had fallen, the floor of what journalism had fallen to. And now today, Hannity just ripped up the floor. And now you have a major, I don't care what he calls himself or what, I have family and friends that consider him news. And you now have a major journalist as a subject of the biggest criminal investigative story of the day. I'm trying to put the shoe on the other foot. If Rachel Maddow, it turns out, had during the Clinton email investigation, and it turns out that Maddow had all the deleted emails on her computer and didn't tell anybody. And then it came out in court. And then she was like, oh, yeah, well, I had them, but here's the completely innocent reason. It would be like, no, Rachel, you're done. I mean, you look at Sean Hannity now, and you can't see an even semi fair and balanced conservative reporter. This guy was Michael Cohen's client, who only had 3 clients. The floor has been ripped up. And Hannity just took journalism right down with them. Like I said, I have faith that things work out the way they should. And I just, strange as it may seem or feel, but Fox News, if only for self-preservation, Fox News will do the right thing by either, like I said, either firing him by tonight, or at least put him on indefinite suspension until things can be looked at. But they can't. If Sean Hannity goes on tonight, like it's just another Monday night, then I might just have to watch that clip again of Peter Jennings from 27 years ago, and remember, very a much simpler time. Sean freaking Hannity.